You're listening to Drummer Daily, the only daily podcast just for drummers. Hey, if you want to get better at playing with a click track, and who doesn't, go to boomclick.net/start today. Hey there, welcome back to Drummer Daily again. So happy you could join me. I am putting my phone in airplane mode. I actually recorded these on my phone. I'm putting it in airplane mode because I've had times before when I've gotten phone calls in the middle of recording, and for whatever reason that I don't understand, whenever I get a phone call, it actually it stops the recording. And there's a few times it's happened. I actually haven't ever mentioned it on the podcast, I don't think, but where I'll have to like figure out where I left off on my train of thought and go back and start over recording it, or not start over, but start where I left off. Anyway. I forgot to do that until just now, so I just did it. But that is not really matter at all. You don't care about my phone. You're here for the drum stuff. But I do want to tell you, I'm excited. As I'm recording this weekend, the guy is coming out to install all the sound treatment for my studio room at my house. So I'm excited. If you watch any of my Instagram videos, the ones where I post me playing drums, they're going to start looking a little different after that point, because I will have some they're called clouds. It's sound treatment that hangs from the ceiling. You may or may not see those, but you will probably see the other absorbing panels that go behind the drums and around the drums. Those will probably show up. So be on the lookout for that if you are interested. I'm excited to hear how they sound. How the drums sound once I get all this treatment in here. In fact, I was recording my drums for one of the most recent Instagram videos I posted, and I was playing the drums a little harder than I usually do when I record, and I, for the first time, heard some of the really, really undesirable sounds that can come from having some of these issues that I have in my room specifically. And man, it drove me crazy. I was like, this is when something sounds wrong and it's recorded in that way, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't put an effect or anything like that to get rid of that awful sound. You just gotta deal with it, and hopefully it won't happen next time. So anyway, I'm excited about that, getting the room treated. And then I'm also excited about I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't think I've mentioned on the podcast that I've partnered up with Cymbals, and there is a worship music pack for drummers that's out, and it's got my picture on the box, which is so cool, and I'm very excited. That's a very ego thing to be excited about. Like, oh, my picture's on a box. But that's kind of like a cool little kid dream. Or not. I'd actually never dreamed that something like this would even be possible. That I get to walk into a Guitar Center or whatever, music shop, and see my picture on a box of cymbals. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, the cymbals come out, I think, in a couple of weeks. It's a collection of K-custom cymbals. So some people have asked me who've seen the news, are they new cymbals or a unique cymbals? And they're cymbals that were already out there. It's a collection of K-custom cymbals, which I think are great for especially quieter volume applications. There's a couple of fast crashes, and they're great because they speak they speak their full kind of sound at a very quiet level. So you can play softly but still get that huge crash sound without the sound being loud, because you're not having to strike them so hard to get the sound out of it. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I'm excited to add those to my arsenal. I've had a bunch of K-customs before some of the fast crashes, and I don't have any right now. And so I'm really excited to get those. And I'm also excited because I don't know if you know this or not. I play with a set of 18-inch cymbals right now for my hi-hats. And so I'm excited to get a normal size set of hi-hats for a lot of, especially recording applications where maybe the big cymbals aren't the right sound. You need something a little tighter, a little more crisp. So I'm excited to have those. So anyway, those cymbals are all coming. I imagine they shipped out either today or they will tomorrow, and I'll hopefully have them by this weekend as well. So like, in one fell swoop, I'm going from what I've got to having a room that's treated and having new cymbals and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. And now that I've taken up a big portion of the podcast talking about my stuff, I do want to talk to you about something, and it's not I picked this topic today because I knew that I don't have a ton to say about it, but I wanted to bring it up. And I've had some conversations recently with a few different drummers about this topic, and it's the idea of playing for the love of playing versus playing for improvement. And I know that we've maybe mentioned this before in the podcast, but I just want to bring up again that what I've noticed is that a lot of times drummers will get caught up in making progress or in visibly improving their playing. And by visibly improving, I mean you work on playing something that you can't play well, and you get really good at playing that thing. And then once you get really good at playing that thing, that lick, that pattern, whatever it is, you look for the next thing that is hard for you to play, and you pursue that technical improvement. And for you, in your mind, the idea of improving on the drums is doing that. It's being able to play more and more complex patterns easily. So it's almost kind of like a video game where you level up your character. You want, you want to acquire new skills. You want that new weapon or that new ability or whatever. And I remember, maybe it's my personality type. This is a fun thing, actually. I just realized about myself. I can't stand those games where I'm talking about video games a lot, but I love to play the game Halo. What I love about playing Halo, it's one of those first-person shooter games, but what I love about it is it's fun to play. But I think for me, I don't like complicated things. And what I love about Halo is that at any given moment, you can only hold 2 guns. So you can switch between 2 guns. Any of those games where you can hold 15 different guns or 15 different abilities, or you have 15 different things you can do in the game at any given moment, those drive me crazy because I don't like the choice and I don't want to think about it. I just want to play the game. And that's not a fun part of the game to me, deciding what to use. I kind of want my old standbys and I just go with that. And so in drumming, a lot of times it can be, some people can have the tendency of pursuing the next thing to add to their arsenal, the next lick, the next chop, the next complicated thing. But what I think we miss out on that is that we sometimes get so preoccupied with that we miss out on the enjoyment of playing what we already know. And I'm not saying you don't practice. I'm saying the driving force behind why you practice. Is it because you love playing drums, or is it because you just want to get more of the skill of drumming? Do you want to just get better as a drummer just to get better and be better than other people? Or do you actually enjoy the music that you're creating as a drummer? I think for me, I'm not a very disciplined person in a lot of ways. And the only way that I've been able to stick with the drums so long is because I love playing the drums. I love sitting down and just playing the drums. I'm not a person who's able to pursue a lot of new licks and technical abilities. I will say there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with pursuing that technical ability. In fact, my last Instagram video that I posted, I specifically and intentionally went for playing something a little more technically challenging, for me at least, making myself feel kind of weird and awkward with what I was playing, and then posted it with all the mistakes I was making and everything, just so that I could kind of put that out there and say, look, sometimes you can actually unlock a lot of creativity by playing things that are technically difficult. So I'm not at all against playing technically difficult things on the drums. I am a little bit against, I think, pursuing getting better at the drums just so you can be better than the next guy, or the best in your class, or the best at this or that. I'm not very competitive, and again, maybe that's because I don't think I was ever technically the best drummer that I knew, and so maybe that was me kind of copping out a little bit and saying you know what, I'm not going to be the best drummer, so I'm not even going to try. I'm going to tell myself that I'm trying to do, that's not my goal anyway. I didn't want, I don't want to play with you guys anyway. I don't want to play ball with you guys anyway, when secretly you do. So anyway, that's me calling myself out a little bit. But anyway, all that to say, just think about it. Do you play drums because you love it, or do you play drums because you want to be better than somebody else? And kind of give yourself a gut check and think about that. And maybe today, if you are someone who normally likes to pursue just acquiring more skills and more abilities, maybe today sit down at the drums and don't worry about that stuff and just enjoy the music that you're making with your drums and the music that maybe you're playing along with. So I hope that's helpful to you, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye.